My name is Roger Bird, and I am the COP for USAID's Kenyan Investment Mechanism. I'm really pleased to welcome you all and kick off this year's Knowledge Management and Learning event. This is our opportunity to pause and reflect on what we've learned in our implementation of this activity. We all call this collaboration, learning, and adaptive management. Now, the next 2 days is not just about what Kim's results are, but instead, you'll hear from our partners, stakeholders, and about how the Kenyan Investment Mechanism activity has helped them and what we've learned that we could improve upon. Let me first give some context for the event with an overview of the Kenyan Investment Mechanism activity. USAID's Kenyan Investment Mechanism is an activity that connects business opportunities with financing. The primary objective is to activate private sector capital. We do this into underserved markets that meet then development objectives. And we're looking to fill that gap in financing between the supply and demand of funds. To meet these objectives, we support strategic policy and regulatory reforms that further unlock capital. Now, what's important to understand is that the capital we're looking to fill, that gap comes from the private sector, not from USAID funds. Kenyan Investment Mechanism is not a fund, but it is a facilitator. Financing comes from banks, leasing companies, private equity, social, and impact investment funds. What we do is we help the supply side connect with the demand side in such a way that supports safety and soundness in finance and builds lasting market relationships that shift the financial ecosystem to operate more effectively. As a development practitioner, what I find most interesting about the Kenyan Investment Mechanism Development Program is that it is the ability to engage sector capital who is taking that capital at their own, using that capital at their own risk, and it's what we call pay for results. Now, here's how it works. It's quite simple. We've partnered with 40 local business advisory service providers and 20 financial institutions with the objectives of financing small to medium-sized enterprises in underserved markets. Now, pay for results means that there's an incentive fee available when there is success. This incentive fee to these partners is paid when they are securing financing for the enterprises. It's like a little nudge to the supply side and demand side for engaging in these markets. The underserved markets are areas such as agriculture or health or water and sanitation. Now, in Kenya, less than 4% of bank financing goes into the agricultural sector, which represents actually 25% of the country's GDP. Also, women and youth-owned businesses. These are high-growth opportunities. The Kenyan Investment Mechanism has a 5-year life of project target of $520 million. That seems like a big task, but at this point, just before the end of our year 4, we have achieved $485 million. And so we think that, we believe that this incentive system does in fact speak for itself. I see the pay-for-results model as an effective development tool. For example, to date, for every dollar that USAID has invested into the Kenyan Investment Mechanism, we have leveraged, what we call leverage, or mobilized $25 into the private sector that is as a result of the financial institutions taking their own risk. That's really good value for money in development. And this is not just about an incentive success fee. In fact, the fees they're quite small. They're generally about 1%. Again, this is designed to be just a nudge. We know that the market charges between 3 and 5% to help businesses structure incentives to be just enough. What I love about this is that USAID is offering payment for services, a success fee, that meets development goals. We continually monitor our structure to ensure that we offer just enough to be able to make the market move. What our partners, business advisors, are telling us that you'll hear from in these sessions is that as a result of USAID's activity, the businesses have gained much more credibility in the market. The business advisors have gained much more credibility in the market as a result of this structure. And the SMEs are much more willing to pay for advisory services today than they were in the beginning. Our business advisors say that over 60% of their SMEs are now paying for advisory services. Compared to when we started, it was 0. This is a sign of the market's movement. And also, when Kim started, the financial institutions were not working with business advisors. This has changed as a result of the efforts to bring the two groups into a relationship. Partner banks have financed over $7 million in transactions that were brought to them by business advisors, showing a good incremental change into that system. And that's what we want to see, are these relationships developing in such a way where financial institutions ultimately are willing to pay the success fee to the business advisors themselves. This is how it is working successfully in developed economies. Now, we've been supporting our partners with targeted sector training in agricultural value chains, water sanitation, and health financing techniques. And we've embedded these financing techniques into these financial institutions through what we call training of the trainers programs. And we have support new loan product developments that help financial institutions mitigate risks and better match repayments to the enterprise's cash collection cycles. Now, we can't underestimate the value of our policy work, where we are working with counties and national government to build investors' confidence, to improve the ease of doing business, and both promote and facilitate new investments that add jobs, increase livelihoods, and smooth out supply chains and distribution channels. We understand how policies are important in the investment mobilization, and we are collaborating with counties to carry out policy reforms that will anchor key investment opportunities. We want to help build the capacity of the county officials to understand how investments and development policies encourage investors to invest in their counties. Now, based on lessons we have learned so far, we are adapting how our approach to put these we've changed our approach to put the county in the driver's seat. So going forward, we will be inviting counties to request assistance for initiatives that they will co-finance and champion. This approach offers counties the opportunity to lead their own initiatives and build their own capacity to engage with experts like policy drafting firms and business advisors and key strategic investors. Now, the Kenyan investment mechanism is not only working on capital mobilization and policy reform. We have a number of other initiatives that we support as well. For example, we are implementing a special women's economic empowerment program that seeks to increase access to financing by women-owned businesses and to take the gender bias out of the market and mainstream gender equality and inclusion. We are also supporting Kenya's pension fund to invest into infrastructure, energy, agriculture, and other sectors, because these are typically large transactions that really help the development of the country. So the Kenyan Pension Fund Investment Consortium, or as we call them, KEFIC, has already mobilized more than $100 million into road and housing infrastructure. You'll hear from the head of the KEFIC Secretariat later, and they'll have an opportunity to be able to describe more about how they are mobilizing pension funds into the market. What's exciting about this particular opportunity for me is that it is a true form of Kenyans investing in Kenya. The consortium also offers American institutional investors an opportunity to co-invest here in Kenya. Now, we support financing opportunities through the U.S. Development Finance Corporation Credit Guarantee Program. Kenyan Investment Mechanism supports 10 credit guarantees totaling $82 million that are supporting agriculture, health, and water and sanitation. We see these credit guarantees as business enablers to better engage SMEs, and we are supporting them with pipeline development, targeted product development, technical training. We've scaled utilization in these credit guarantee programs from 11% to over 57% in just 4 years. Lastly, we're supporting Kenya's National Treasury to scale a national credit guarantee scheme for SMEs that was just launched a year ago. This is similar to the Development Finance Corporation's guarantee system under USAID, but this is Kenya's own national credit guarantee program that helps SMEs access financing through commercial banks. And tomorrow, the National Credit Guarantee Program's head manager will be here to talk about the results that they've achieved and the lessons that they have learned in that process so far in their journey. So as you can see by now, Investment Mechanism is a robust program that is championing for sustainable local economic development in Kenya and across East Africa. Over the course of the next 2 days, you'll hear from our partners and our stakeholders how Kenyan Investment Mechanism has engaged in the market, what's working, and what could be improved. In collaboration with our partners, several case studies will be highlighted, and you'll be able to engage with those partners to better understand how the solutions have been employed. Now, while this learning event is not about Kenyan Investment Mechanism's actual results, I do want to take a moment to thank the Kenyan Investment Mechanism team for an outstanding year of performance, for their dedication and passion to improve the financial ecosystem during a time that has really been challenging for us to create and innovate in order to stay true to our goals and our objectives. More and more, we're seeing the effects of climate change, droughts, floods, unpredictable weather patterns, and of course, we've all been experiencing the challenges of COVID-19, where it's disrupted employment and supply chain channels. I've watched this team each month pause and reflect, which is what we're here to do today, is pause and reflect on both what we do and how we do it. They connect with our partners and stakeholders to listen and learn and exchange ideas, to innovate and adapt. Again, this is why we're here. As the saying goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And we know we can't do this alone. And we are really grateful for the collaboration and support of our partners and stakeholders, for their passion and for their dedication, for the friends that we were making along the way, and mostly for their perseverance in countless technical challenges as we've all stayed connected during COVID. And of course, the extended KIM network really offers a huge appreciation to our USAID colleagues who have tirelessly supported and guided our activities. So, with that, let's get this program started. Let's collaborate, learn, and exchange to further Kenya's growth and economic opportunities. That's why we're here. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here. You know, as humans, we're not really capable of holding back our passion, our vision, or our creativity. We were actually born to learn and to adapt. And here's what I know. We can't always get it right, but the only real failure is to not try at all. So thank you very much. I look forward to an engaging opportunity with you all over the next 2 days, and it's truly a pleasure to be part of it. Thank you.